error this season for either one of our teams in our game. Another miss for NC State. Canes run it up. Cleveland, difficult shot, well defended, didn't. Baby boy, Miller Thomas joins the team. So congrats to the family of Tommy Morrissey. That's Cleveland on the run. Brian Oliver, the MVP of the 1990 ACC tournament, contested in Charlotte, North Carolina. 70-61 of the championship game against Virginia. You had a couple of pretty good teammates too, didn't you?
Yeah,
a lot of them.
Dennis Guy, Kenny Anderson, shout out. As you see Matthew Cleveland continue to go.
Saturday, Georgia Tech and Wake to follow us. Xfinity Racing from Phoenix, Arizona. Also today on the CW, Tom Wormy along with Brian Oliver, the 1990 MVP at the ACC tournament in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's the destination next week. Baseline jumper, Cleveland. Earlier this week at home at Lenovo Center. McNeil again, little scissor kick.
You can call that a heat check. He's giving himself a chance. He said, I'm feeling it.
Cleveland at the other end beats two defenders, including Middlebrooks. Foul on the play. Just over 2 minutes to go for Breon pass. O'Connell. Ugo Chukwu runs it up, finds Cleveland on the wing for three. Matthew.
It was, but sometimes it was just an instance of better offense.
Middlebrooks finds his man Styles. That's his first miss from three-point real estate and missed everything. Cleveland cuts to the rim. Cleveland lays it in. This is the follow-away.
I didn't like that shot by Johnson. I thought that he can do it, pound it one more time. As you see Miami get another turnover.
Cleveland with the slam. McNeil. Despite the miss, 8 made threes in the game for NC State. Cleveland just backing down. Size advantage exploited.
And that's why I say
coach for Miami in his 29th season as a collegiate basketball coach. He watches his team produce a turnover. Cleveland, I don't think he's giving this one up.
And that's one of the things that
on it. Middlebrooks playing with 4 personal fouls. Styles, head of steam, misses. Johnson the rebound. Cleveland, 4-3.
At Florida before transferring for Georgia Tech. Every time I saw him, he had a different color of hair. He is a colorful, interesting, learned young man. A published author. Yeah.
How about that, Matthew Cleveland? That's not typically his game.
Him out on the perimeter.
Absolutely. And when he gets switches, he can attack, but you better not overcommit on him because he's got elite vision. Yellow Jackets just not able to hit shots right now.
Cleveland. Physically, he's one of the most gifted in the fact that he can play the wing with that frame. Thea's 3 long, grabbed by Johnson, out to Cleveland.
I will say this about Miami. They have talented guys. And that's, to be honest with you, Doug, the more I watch him, he loves coming off his right and then flinging it, but he's able to make that pass with both hands, and he doesn't have to gather the ball to make it happen. So the ball gets there on time and on target. Such a tough skill to master.
Cleveland leans in, draws the contact, and he'll have a chance for
That's the difference in Bayandongo's last few weeks of the season.
And part of that, T.O., the Yellow Jackets already have 11 second chance points. Cleveland penetrates again. And again, he shows physically. Too, why not?
You know, it's funny, when you and I talked to Damon Sotomayor, he said, you know what, Duncan Powell's found a home. And I said, where's that home? The left corner? He loves that spot on the floor. He is really consistent there.
In ACC play, he is the leading scorer as Cleveland gets a lucky roll.
Good. But really nice pass by Dongo. He sees the double team coming, doesn't lose his composure, sees the opposite 45. Lance Terry on a heater.
Cleveland trying to answer and does. Cleveland may have gotten away with the travel.
May have.
Well, the whistle didn't blow. Well, he says, how about that? 28 points.
What a performance. We still have more than a quarter of this game to play.
He came off the bench the first 5 games of the season. He has been nothing short of a revelation this year for Damon Stoudemire.
How about the recognition, too, of like, hey, we need to get this guy the ball. I mean, that's not a hard answer, but still.
Jack went on to have a terrific NBA career.
Heck of a hat.
You like that?
I did.
I was grabbing his numbers earlier. 2,057 career points for Travis Beck.
Wow.
Behind only Rich Youngkin.
Coming out of a timeout, and you're winning by 17 points if my math is doing me correctly. Watch out. If my math is doing me correctly.
Just going to take care of business. Cleveland on the drive with a left hand no. And the rebound comes right back to him.
Sometimes the simplest way of viewing the game is the best way to view the game. And when it gets tough and you're Carolina, you're trying to play to make the NCAA tournament, simplify it because your playmakers will win the game.
Kyrie Huey at 6'9", a senior from Miami, getting into the fray here. I'll tell you what, it's weird to look across and look at the Miami bench and not see Coach L there, Jim Larrañaga. One of the great coaches, I thought, in college basketball for a long time. Resigning one day after Christmas. Nice back move here by Cleveland coaches.
It's hard to imagine when you think about that 5,500 wins between that group. It's humbling.
Cleveland, nice look away. And they want to push the tempo with Jackson. He's a one-man fast break anyway, but the layup wouldn't drop. Cleveland, no one picked him up, and he'll lay it in.
You have to continue to build upon what you've found over the last 4 games.
Another turnover here. It's Cleveland again. Another strong drive for 2 more.
He doesn't particularly want to shoot that, but he is so good about just getting enough of an angle. Crafty, soft with the finish.
Johnson gives it up. Shot clock down to 10. Cleveland thought about a 3. A 2-pointer. He'll drill that.
It's a great fan base. It's something you need the blue bloods to be blue. It's good for college basketball. But Carolina is also a special place.
Cleveland with 10 to get up a shot. Bodying up and well done.
Chase, that's the issue I've been saying. You can't walk it up. You can't allow reset. You put the defense in a situation where they have to chase the play. You get good things. By the way, I hope it actually means gift.
Boy, I hope so too.
Kim Belton, our producer's not just messing with me.
Cleveland will take the hit on driving it. Cleveland really quiet here in the second half. Bethea, open look, no. Jobay with the rebound. Matthew Cleveland was huge in the first half. Give him 2 more. Was out to him because he's a very decent, classy guy. He's used to winning at Miami alongside Jim Larrañaga. And those days just disappeared so quickly. What a tough shot there by points.
He gets a lot when someone's able to get to the rim and bring a secondary defender. Lubin just does a good job of kind of rooting his way in, keeping defenders, that third defender, off his back.
Cleveland again. Yes, a 3. But he did get to 2,600 career points.
And I think he's doing a little more facilitating. He's managing the game a little bit more, and I think that's important, particularly when you have young talent around you. Matthew Cleveland, what a dog.
Dang, one of Florida State's best three-point shooters. Had a great look.
That's a great opportunity for Florida State, and that's how they want to play. Long rebound, get out and play fast, have open up.
They're letting them be physical so far.
But you see Jameer Watkins just hit one on the previous possession. Now they have to come out a little bit further. Now that opens up that drive. That was good defense by Johnson.
Kidd cross-court pass. Cleveland, 3-ball. Oh! Asserted himself, especially down low. Watkins, that's a deep 3. Halfway down and out.
And to your point, Ari, it's really been decision-making for Miami. Once they get in the half court, they haven't been making good decisions with the basketball at all.
Got 14 turnovers in this one. They've struggled to protect the ball for large parts of this season.
And then you just see even right here on this position, the ball's sticking. They're not guys that are just standing around. And look, you're going to get
Mo Diaz, Graham, and Zach Austin. Brandon Cummings off the floor after he got his second career start. Boren left it short, and Brandon Johnson ripped down the rebound.
Boren should turn and face there. You know, he's trying to back him down. There's no reason to try to back your defender down. He's giving you some resistance. Got to figure out a way to put their imprint on the game. Loose ball here, rebound there. He's provided some really positive plays for Pittsburgh.
Here's Cleveland. Turnaround is pure, and more of this in the top 10 matchup, nor in a top 15 matchup. And you get 1 versus 2 today in that great rivalry.
It's Alabama-Auburn. They don't care who step up.
Delalich was trying to do that. Cummings the offensive rebound, and the floater was too strong off the back iron, and now Miami runs with numbers, and Cleveland comes storming in.
And the big key this year for this Miami team, he's been really good for them, efficient from the floor.
Syracuse on the road in the orange uniforms, Miami here at home in the green. Eric Lewis, Pat Driscoll, Tony Chiazza, the 3 officials tonight. Miami opened up ACC play 0-10, but they're trying to make it wins in 2 of their last 3 as they work against this zone of Syracuse. Matthew Cleveland hangs in the air, gets the bounce, and the guy.
A lot of times we don't talk about bigs that screen. Eddie Lampkin that time set a hard screen for J.J. Starlin, freed him up to get down the lane. Excellent screening early on.
Yeah, Lynn Kidd has his hands full with Lampkin. Those two going at it in the post here. Brandon Johnson, 7 to shoot. Kicks, Cleveland spots up, buries the 3. 5. Lynn Kidd hits that jump to give Miami a 3-point lead. Yeah, not many teams have had to go multiple games without their 2 best players. That's been the case this year for Syracuse.
Certainly, again, you look at any team around the league, I don't care if it's Duke, you take away Cooper, Flagg, and Knipple, or you take with Louisville, you take away Hepburn or Rain Smith, you're going to struggle.
Cleveland finishes, knocked away. Pass tipped, and Johnson intercepts it. Miami has numbers. Cleveland splits the double team and lays it in. He's in pregame today. He was standing next to 6'11" Eddie Lampkin. I looked at you and I said, he makes Lampkin look small. And believe me, Eddie Lampkin is not small.
The only other person I think bigger, as you take a look at Cleveland.
What a strong take from
Syracuse. And Miami, again, in the first half, they bothered Syracuse a few times with their full court pressure. That time, much better breaking the press by Syracuse.
Cleveland rises over the top of the shorter Taylor, and he way to the basket, and that's Syracuse's first lead since it was 6-5.
That's tough by Cuff through contact.
Cleveland right to the basket, ties it right back up.
Of this game for Syracuse, staying above that cut line to make the ACC tournament, and Miami has really played well on both ends. Both teams, it's been a well-played game, and let's see how they close this one out.
Cleveland rises for 3, swirls in. Carlos, he's got the steal. One-on-one against Bethea. Takes the contact, didn't get a whistle. Miami has numbers, but wisely they bring it out, content to take some time off the clock with less than 3 to go and up 3 possessions. Cleveland falling away, got it. That's a tough.
Syracuse now, after the timeout, picking up full court.
Still a 7-point lead for Miami. This pressure has caused a little bit of trouble for Miami, but they easily break the press this time. Miami opened ACC play 0-10, but the Hurricanes have a chance to make it 2 wins in their last 3 games. Shot clock's at 5. Cleveland blows by Lampkin. Easy lay-in. He's got 28.
Match with this Louisville team.
Nope. On the bouncers, Edwards' layup fell off, and Johnson pulls it away. The East Carolina transfer. I wouldn't say Miami's forte is at the defensive end of the floor, but if things start falling for them offensively is when they tend to play very well, and there goes Matt back for Edwards. Working against Schwartz. Punched away by Ogachukwu. Canes on the run, and Cleveland had it batted off the rim, and Ted Valentine going to score the bucket for Matthew.
He wanted to pass it and realized he couldn't, and so he made a very, very good shot.
Lead back to a dozen, inside of 3 to go. Cleveland on a hard drive and score. now here in the final minute. The Cards by 11. Staten McCray for Cleveland's three, and it's good.
For his defense and his rebound.
Here's Cleveland leaning in. Can't get the roll over Hadley. Kidd gives Miami a second chance. Out front, Ogachukwu. 12 to shoot. Devine picked up on the dribble now. Bethea. Boy, Louisville does such a good job handing off, man, defensively, I think. Don't think of the Cards in that light, but they've shown it to be really, really a strong suit. Rhyme and runner for Cleveland. He finally has the Canes have. Here is Smith missing on a 2. Hadley a second chance and couldn't get the rebound and a shot to go. Might have been altered by Brandon Johnson.
Well, you do not want Rain Smith posting up inside. That's not the ideal Louisville offense.
Here's Cleveland. Oh! With the right. Put this group together. Everybody who saw the roster overhaul that occurs in the landscape of today's game. Well, he got some great fits, and there's Cleveland on a drive and a foul. Foul line. Resets with 3 on Swartz with the right hand. Won't go. Kidd the rebound. .82-71 it stays. Here's Cleveland. Trying to back in on Rain Smith off the glass and in. You have 9 threes. And what a drive by Ogachukwu. Traore, the rebound, and Kidd saved it to Cleveland. Matthew Cleveland going to fire for 3 and hit, and he's got a 6.
Clock now, it's taken away. Bethea, McDonald's All-American. You can see he can fly, and it's cleaned up by Matt. At 6'7", he can get out and run. Rolls off the rim, gets his own miss, and he puts it back and in. After he finishes playing, one of the better dudes you will meet in college basketball. Off the miss, the rebound of Bethea. Miami only down by 6. Just over 11 minutes to play in the second half. There goes Cleveland right by his man to the bucket. The lead. Davis in the paint. His floater, no good. Miami, the coaching staff says the biggest struggle has been getting them to play together as a team. But they are coming together here tonight. Cleveland cut off baseline. Here comes the double team. Somebody's open. It'll be Ogachukwu. Now drives into the paint. Gets it back. Cleveland shot clock's at 4. Showing his patience. And he still gets the jump. Wouldn't you love that as a coach?
Yeah, I never heard that. Maybe it's because I didn't play for my dad. And that's not what it is. I'm not saying that to be critical.
There is Cleveland throwing it down with 2 hands.
I think we're really quick with jump balls. That's my point.
Okay, I can see that one.
Play it on a little bit. Like balls on the floor, give it a second. Let's see if they get the ball.
Cleveland rattles in the jet.
You're going to take that away with a good anticipation.
Cleveland curling, and he's been hot to
more than just can you cover the basketball? Can you take shots away? You know, ultimately, it's like, do you have good instincts on the defensive end to shorten your closeouts?
Throwing it up top, and Cleveland.
There was a thing a couple years ago, the Jelly Fam. Do you remember the Jelly Fam? None of them were any good, but it's been enough time I can say that.
Cleveland catch and shoot.
All right.
Bounces it in, and he is making just his 4th start of the season again due to those injuries to Saunders and Rhodey. And you mentioned all of the jumbling of the Miami lineups. This is their 9th different starting lineup tonight.
Great thing, shot by Tane Murray, getting the first one to go in, getting the confident bounce.
Cleveland has been a top 5 scorer in the ACC since league play. Cleveland off the bounce, counted in the foul by Cleveland. And now Miami on the run. Oh, that's rejected by Murray. Cleveland off the glass.
Thought they come. Miami's going to have to switch I'll go with a bigger lineup right now. They're getting pounded on the glass. There's no rim protection. Got to keep Virginia out of the paint.
Cleveland goes to the paint hard with one hand.
Clearing out the side for Matthew Cleveland.
With one. Fadeaway is good for Cleveland to beat the horn, and he has. Robinson doubled. Staten McCray trying to win it back, and it's Johnson coming away with it for the Hurricanes. Cleveland takes it to the cup. Next year and return these teams to national prominence.
In today's times, it doesn't take a long time, but you're talking about programs that have been spoiled.
Shots and timely stops to keep the buffer. Inside Buchanan, reverse, no. Kofi couldn't keep the handle.
You push the tempo, but if you don't have a good shot, now you get into your half-court offense. You don't need to take quick shots that are bad shots against this Virginia team.
Cleveland into the chest of Murray, counted in the foul.
And also with his added point guard responsibilities, he's just letting the game come to him. It's in a groove right now.
Certainly his best game in his career against the Canes. In a game that Virginia felt they had to have. They've lost 6 of the last 7 as Cleveland tries to keep the Canes in it.
Puts a freshman big back in on the offensive possession to help with the press break.
Cleveland with the steal and the lay-in.
Down his first attempt in this one. He'll peel back and misses everything as Cleveland grabs it for the Hurricanes. Coast to coast, Matthew Cleveland scores.
You haven't prepared for the offseason. You're preparing as an assistant. Now as a head coach, he's doing a great job, as you said, remaining positive, trying new things, as we talked about, different lineups, different personnel, and number one, staying positive, trying to find little victories.
Matthew Cleveland pulls up on the elbow, and it bounces in. Thursday night against the Seminoles. Largest lead for Cal. The Calgorithm is strong late in this first half. It's Cleveland, and he answers back.
The second half, both teams are shooting in the 30s in terms of their percentage, so it's not quite as clean as the first half. More deflections defensively, a lot more activity defensively for both teams.
Miami has outscored Cal 13-8 to open this second half. Cleveland leaning in, tough bucket, and give him
for themselves late in the shot clock. They had an offensive possession that didn't turn into anything. It was a good idea, just didn't turn into it. And then McKinney just finishes.
Oh, Cleveland right back at you. The Miami working late in the clock again. Botrytis falling away. Here comes Matthew Cleveland. Cleveland and Brandon Johnson chasing Miami with 16 points apiece tonight. Cleveland for the lead. It's in.
The ball goes middle. They're matching up man. Can Miami get that ball to the middle and then try and get Cal in some of a kind of a scramble situation getting out of this zone?
Miami's best effort in a month. Can they pay it off with a victory? Jobe out of the shot fake. Now it's Bethea. Shot clock into single digits. Cleveland on the baseline, picked up by Campbell. Sissoko helps defensively. Cleveland nails the turnaround. Miami, not a good three-point shooting team, but they have 10 makes tonight. Do they have one more in them? Across the floor, it's Swartz. Touch pass, Cleveland. He puts it in with a tournament in Charlotte.
Absolutely. If you want to finish your year in Charlotte for sure. Cal doing a nice job here, just burning a little bit of time with the press.
Well, Matthew Cleveland will add some.
Sellers knows he's got to get a shot off. Blakes will shoot the three, contested, and it's off the mark.
You see when Reynaud's out of the game, they do not have that big to play through. It's either Sellers or Blakes, but either one of them got anything going. There's Matthew Cleveland. Yeah, they were down by 20, cut it to 13 at one point, and they're playing hard. I mean, they haven't made a three-point shot in the basketball game. Kids leading them in scoring. Cleveland's only got 4 points, so you know he's got about 14 more in him.
Hurricanes have the ball to start the second half. Chukwu finds Cleveland. That three goes down. So there's the first.
That low block again.
Reynaud, his first shot of the second half came up short.
Here comes Miami out on the move. Cleveland's going to attack with the left hand. Nice finish.
Outside buckets. He's stroked a couple triples now. He's got himself a double-double. He's sharing the basketball with his teammates for some easy backdoor layups. This kid's a total package.
Grew up in Paris playing with Victor Wembanyama as a kid. Played a lot of basketball together. Cleveland.
So, you know what? I was saying it smells better on this campus than most universities I've ever been to. You were explaining why to me. I forgot why. But it's smelling sweet right here inside this. Yeah, I'm going to that Warrior. I'm going to Bull. My old team, the Bulls, are playing the Warriors tomorrow. I got to go check it out.
You got to see your old club. Cleveland on the break lays it in.
A couple moves ahead, and I think that's what Reynaud does out here on the basketball court.
Another missed three from Benny Keeler, who's not happy. He's usually a very good shooter. Cleveland gets it back and dumps it home with a foul.
Turning point guard, first team All-CC performer, and that one is off the mark and tipped outside, and the follow is good by Murray from Gonzaga. Way downtown. Cleveland with a long rebound and nothing but netnow.com. Salas hit them both. And the Wake Forest lead now at 5. Cleveland into the lane. Beautiful move off the glove. Oh, this is such a cool city. Such an international feel and flavor about it. People from all over the world make their home here in Miami. 8-point lead, and that's the guy we were talking about earlier. But a lot of guys now that have been a lot of college basketball.
A lot of experience. I don't know that was a shot Miami wanted.
I doubt it.
That was what you call a freshman heat check.
Yeah. Bethea, bounce pass in the corner. Good recovery by Salas on defense.
Good defense.
And a nice hesitation move there. Going to the basket.
Wow. What a finish. What a finish.
In the corner, and it is clean.
A
attack by Hildreth, getting downhill, kicking the spillers. Nice finish.
Will fade away there by Cleveland. Nothing but you look at Miami on defense. 281st. Points allowed and one. Silly foul.
So that's 6 turnovers here in the second part of this first half.
Thomas had some cruel intentions for a moment. Can't get the lay-in. Here's Cleveland. Can he give Miami some hope? Cleveland, tough
points as well. So doing the job defensively, holding the Canes to just 33% shooting in the first half.
Florida State with the +12 advantage on the boards. If you're Miami, a shred of hope is that two of your best players, Kidd and Cleveland, as Cleveland gets the party started. For
Ben, right now, they haven't scored in almost 2 minutes of action here in the second half.
So Miami's defense getting things figured out. Can they find the rhythm on offense? A chance here to cut it to single digits. Bethea to Kidd. Kidd faces the double team, rips through. Cleveland stepping through the lane, gets the floater. It's a 9 bullet 4-4 from outside.
That extra pass. There could have been a shot from the top, but they find the hot shooter in the corner. Unselfish basketball, and then again.
Whip it around. Davis, pump fake, opens up the C. And Johnson chases down the rebound. Numbers here for Miami if they want. Cleveland, pump fake, Cleveland to the cup, draws another foul, and
basketball, because he came out of that second half, he could have kept firing away. But he wanted to get his team going, and that's the reason why they were 11 for their last 11 field goals.
Nice one. Have you had to show more patience than you normally would because of how young your team is? They start 2 true freshmen, which is almost unheard of in college basketball these days with the transfer portal and being able to go and get experienced players. To start 2 true freshmen is unbelievable, and we see.
Lawal has that one blocked, and now Divine Ugachukwu down the floor, and Cleveland trying to find his way to the bucket and does.
And that was a great talent. He spent a lot of time today, ironically enough, in the corners at shoot-around. Shooting threes with one of the assistant coaches certainly paid off.
Yeah. Rated the number 10 recruit out of high school by ESPN. An 8-2 run for the Hurricanes, who are up 3. On cross-court pass, a dangerous one. Miami keeps it, and Cleveland.
That was a big point of emphasis. It's become much harder in college basketball to take a charge and create an offensive foul.
Great.
It's there, Patrick Wessler. But it does make a big difference. In the first half, you're on defense in front of your own bench, so your coaches can help point out what you're supposed to be doing. They can almost talk for you. But in the second half, especially on the road, it's much more difficult, and they haven't done a great job of that so far this season.
Cleveland inside to Lynn Kidd, guarded by Johnson. Swing to the corner, 3-ball off target for Cleveland, rebounded by Johnson.
Pretty good look there for Miami, just Virginia Tech unable to get that defensive rebound.
And now Cleveland, the buck.
Dead in the water, and a great drop-off bounce pass. Virginia Tech finding a way to hang around.
Nice pass inside.
Yeah, and again, both these coaches talked about obviously starting off the new year right, and certainly when you get into ACC play, getting off the fast starts is important, in particular if you're the away team, and College Lewis is going to have to match their energy on both ends.
Keon Brown and could not tip it in. A noticeable hungry Miami team.
You're typically used to shoot around as you take a look at a nice pick and roll, soft touch by Benning. And I think, again, slow starts obviously always a concern, a lot going on, but they have really responded. If you're Earl Grant, you have to be pleased with how your team started this second half.
Miami playing without Nigel Pack again. He's out with a left foot injury. He would be a stabilizing influence. He's their best player. Preseason first team all ACC, but Matthew Cleveland coming off a loss to Mount St. Mary's in overtime at home. Good hustle by Lynn Kidd, keeping it alive. Austin Schwartz in the game for Miami. Kidd trying to back in. The pass to Cleveland, and he's got it.
Just don't want to go for a steal right there. Tough break for Boston College.
And he exits with 3 fouls. Hastings in, and what a dunk by Paul Jobay. Put back is good by Cleveland. What a steal by the Hurricanes. Blackman took it away. Cleveland the 3, and they capitalize.
The clock is reset, and we're good to go. Coming out of our first immediate timeout of the afternoon. Patre Kebe, our junior, Cordelia, Keys and Lipscomb, the 5 out there for Mount St. Mary's. And there's a dunk down low for Lynn Kidd. Basketball at some point. And there's another turnover by Miami. It's been an issue early. There's Johnson in transition. Matthew Cleveland up top for the alley-oop.
Yo, great touch. I wonder if Bama is watching this game right now. It's because his cousin's playing. Great move. You got to pull up right away.
Lynn Kidd has it down low, and he
great
crosses
ball.
up an easy bucket for Cleveland for 3. And that is knocked down for Miami. That's foul trouble for either team. And Kidd finds a wide open Ugachukwu, who followed his shot and collected his miss. And now Matthew Cleveland throws one up.
I love that. I love that energy. You gonna film me?
Turnover. Cleveland.
Hey! Big stop by Miami. That could have been a huge momentum shift if they would have made that basket.
And Ugachukwu. He's in trouble.
Look at your little chat. Take your little game.
Cleveland passed up a 3 on the baseline. Almost stepped out of bounds. Now he spins and fires and hits.
It's a big shot.
Blackman, it'll be Bethea to take it out for Miami. And he gets it into Blackman. Paul Jobay is into the game for Miami. Now Blackman finds a wide open Matthew Cleveland, who works inside and flushes it. Changed my tenor. Like I told you, he was going to miss it off to the right. So King cannot convert the unconventional three-point chance. Miami leads by 13, and now the Blue Hose will crank up the pressure defensively. Down low for Kidd, who gets double-teamed. Matthew Cleveland from the free throw line.
Great point. That's a professional. That's the MAC conference.
Yes.
Shout out to the MAC. Shout out to Sienna Saints.
Lights, camera, action. And away we go here in the second half in Coral Gables. Miami opened up as a 19.5-point favorite this afternoon. They lead by 16 as we start the second half. Kidd with 14, Johnson with 13. Miami out rebounding Presbyterian 19-7. Jumper fading away, and that rolls in right over top of the fingertips of Lynn Kidd.
Scott with a little shake of his head like, man, this man can't guard me.
Scott's got 8 for 4 of 6 from the field.
Look for Lynn to go right back at him right now. Oh,
up
good
top
pass
for Matthew Cleveland, and then he lays it up with the right hand off the glass, and he'll go to the... They're giving up way too many offensive rebounds on the defensive end. Too many second chance opportunities, so you're going to show a little aggression. Coach probably okay with that. Ugachukwu nearly traveled, and now Cleveland throws it up off the glass. Junior out of Newport News, Virginia.
Newport News, DMV. They breed great basketball players.
Blackman nearly carried that ball. They're double teaming on the wing. Trying to find somebody. Finds a wide open Matthew Cleveland, who buries a triple.
Great shot.
Here's Stewart for 3. Rattled right off the front of the iron. Ugachukwu up top for Matthew Cleveland. He gets fouled and makes the bucket.
Great pass.
Parrish. And here come the Canes in transition. Looking to run a little bit. State McCray bombs away for 3. Way too short. Almost like he intended to do it with Ugachukwu right there underneath the hoop. Now Cleveland bullies his way down low. That is good. He'll go back to the free throw line.
Great fight by this Presbyterian basketball team. Fought to the end.
Miami's largest lead was 25.
99 for the Hurricanes. Jim Larinaga generally is going 10 deep so far this season. Cleveland, and boy, Woodard is actually better than that. He had good numbers last year, 38%, and made 58 threes on the season. Again, they went looking for a stretch big, and they found one.
They had 13 double-doubles last year at Charlotte, averaged a little over 13 points. And
AC has 5 programs, Jay, ranked in the top 10 of the nation.
Well, I don't think there's much debate, at least right now, about what the deepest and best conference in college basketball is. It's the SEC. I think they made that pretty loud and clear with their performance in the... Oh, wow.
Speaking of Wiggins' three, Chauncey Wiggins knocks down a triple. That's 4 for Clemson to start the ball game. All their field goals.
And that's why Brad Bardell wants him to be better defensively, because he can absolutely do that. Over 40% from beyond the three-point arc, as well as Chase Hunter. This Clemson team comes in shooting close to 39% from 3, and that's where they've done their damage early.
Cleveland at the foul line area knocks down the first points for Miami.
Check in.
Pack will bring it into the front court here. Clemson has stayed man throughout this first half.
Yeah, you're going to see mostly man-to-man when you're talking about a Brad Bardell coach team.
Yep.
And a physical team. You already see a couple of Canes complaining about how physical Clemson has been on the defensive end of the floor.
5 to shoot. Here's Cleveland. Eyeing one from deep over the top of Shefflin. Matthew Cleveland now.
I was going to give Chase a lot of credit, but I'm going to have a conversation with him after this, because he was ducking a point guard. I thought it was a big guy down there ready to block that shot. That's a point guard trying to block over top of that, Chase.
It's more of feedback than it is conversation.
Yeah. Always conversations. Always conversations.
Here's Blackman on the drive into traffic. Shefflin back on the floor now with Locken in the 2 fouls. 5 to shoot. Cleveland winding against Chase Hunter and scores. Matthew Cleveland
answers your question. That was very close to a backdoor, but ends up being a turnover anyway.
On the run, Jobay, the lob and dunk.
Thus far through the first 7 games for the Canes.
Yes, last 2 games, 2 points a game. Richmond got in close, couldn't finish that. And now Cleveland leading the break, wants to do it himself. He'll lay it in.
A wide open contested dunk after scoring a layup. Normally you have the opportunity to be able to get back defensively once you score, but no one from Miami getting back on the defensive end.
Also shows you how quick the Razorbacks can be. Picked to finish 5th in the SEC behind Alabama, Texas A&M, Tennessee, and Auburn. How about Auburn's gift for winning Maui? They get to go to Cameron Indoor. Feathery touch here by Matthew Cleveland.
With a great rotation after he's seen his team give up multiple dunks.
Theo, no, he's had some big scoring games this season already. 24 against Baylor, had 26 in the loss to Illinois. Cleveland wants to attack, airborne, and gets it to roll in, and he'll be headed to the line.
Matthew Cleveland.
Right back down, and could not be handled by Adu. On the drive, Cleveland swatted away, but you're going to count that. That's goaltending.
And Matthew Cleveland. Carter Knox getting the basketball back off his own miss, and the presence of mind to be able to get it in the air really before it even lands. Shows his strength and the ability to be able to finish amongst the trees.
A freshman out of Tampa. Cleveland really active, and the stuff. An electric for the solar plexus here the last couple of minutes. Johnson straight on. A big time rebound coming out of nowhere. Matt Terrell going up high on the other end. Blackman. Oh, stuffed in by Cleveland. He got a.
Over halfway through the second half. Blackman's open. Cleveland on the follow.
Well, sometimes guys get off to a fast start in their career, and they're highly rated and everything, and life catches up with them, and it can really affect them.
But it was all part of learning and growing and improving. Rest in peace, big fella. Now Cleveland, coast to coast, and one-on-one with Usman. Now they double team him. He finds the open man, Bethia, and it's tipped in by Cleveland. FIU. And he misses the front end. Cleveland hangs and hits.
great, Rich, is that they're playing at a pace that they can read and make decisions with the basketball and get good looks.
Yeah, Ben McCollum told us, we don't want to slow the game down. We just want to play at our pace. There's the first bucket of the game. And Sturtz finishes. 21 for Bennett Sturtz to lead all scorers. Under 3 to go. Cleveland from the corner, got it.
Ali Horton. Matthew Cleveland starting for Miami this afternoon, along with Nigel Pack, Brandon Johnson, Jalen Blackman, and Lynn Kidd.
Really working on trying to get that defense. They want to force Miami towards the sidelines. This is called no middle. You do not want them to get to the middle, because when they get to the middle, everything opens up from that three-point line.
Pack top of the key. Into the corner, Matthew Cleveland three. Obey fresh into the ball game. The sophomore out of France with the rebound for Miami. Sets a high screen for Pack. Staten McCray hands it off to Nigel Pack. He's asking for a little assistance. We'll get a high screen from Brandon Johnson. Matthew Cleveland lines up another three, and he buries it.
Great action. A streak of Coppin State not being able to put the ball in the bucket.
Coppin State now one of their last 8 from the field, but they finally get one to go down. Trailing by 15. Inside for Matthew Cleveland. He's got a little room. Give him a little bit of...
Burrow can do that. He's either back to the basket or mid-range in that high-low post, and now you see them dropping into a 2-3 zone. Let's see how Miami adjusts.
Now Cleveland up and under with a left hand off the glass. A little kiss.
You're doing for the team game, and you're seeing all of the pieces start to meld together here for the Hurricanes.
Wide open, Matthew Cleveland, three. Good, buried it, didn't even move around, but he turns it over, but Miami gets it right back. Pack with an opportunity to atone for his error, no good. Matthew Cleveland.
3-pointers on the game.
11 points off of 8 turnovers. Miami also shooting 50% from 3. They're 8 of 16 from distance.
15 points, and they got a set play here. Let's see if they go back to Walsh.
Miami led by 21 in the first half. That three is way too short for Evan Ash. And on the receiving end, Matthew Cleveland.